I grew up just like any other kid, missing one leg. It didn't really matter. I didn't see it as a clutch or quote unquote a disability. I was born with fibular hemimelia, basically without my fibula, and congenital bowing of my tibia. When I was about 1 year old, my parents decided to have it amputated. Doctors and my parents thought it was in the best interest that, rather than going out long surgeries and everything to try to make it normal as possible, just amputate it and get on with his life. In Perryton, Texas, Texas Panhandle, you don't have much except play sports, and that's that. My senior year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was getting a few offers from some small college schools, mostly Division II schools, that to play football, but I really just it didn't feel right. Well, that's when I get a call from my prosthetist, and he tells me about the Endeavor Games that we have here. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds kind of interesting, whatnot. And that night, I go to church with my mom, and I receive a message. This lady pulls me out of the crowd, and she was an evangelist that was in town at that time. She was like, "Come here, evangelist." And I was like, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" I was like, "This lady's crazy. I'm not going to be an evangelist." And she was like, "Some doors are about to open for you, and you are going to travel the world and talking about the love of Christ." I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty big." The person who was videoing that service printed out that message on a piece of paper. And that night I went home and clipped it on my wall. So I'm getting ready to go to bed, I'm about to fall asleep, and I just jump up. I go up to the wall, turn my light on, and I read that message again. And something inside of me is just saying, I need to go to this. So I go into my mom's room, it's like 12:30, we're about to have to get up in about 4.5 hours to drive. I'm like, "Mom, I'm supposed to go to this meet." So we get up, we go to the meet, and I get there and I'm like meeting these athletes that are, we're overcoming such obstacles. I mean, they were elite athletes. Some of them had just competed in 2000, Athens Games. It's like, man, I'm about to get my butt kicked. Like, this is not going to be fun. Well, I'm in 6-pound walking leg, 7-pound, heavy leg, and line up to do the 100, and I barely lose. Right then, Hanger runs up. They come up to me and they asked me, "Have I ever done Paralympics? Have I ever run?" They took measurements. Instantly asked me all these questions, got me involved, and that's how I got started in the Paralympics. Just one meet after another. In 2006, I went to Atlanta, Georgia to go to the first Paralympic Nationals for myself, and I made the team to go to 2006 World Championships in the Netherlands. And then bam, instantly, I knew what I was doing. Like, that door just opened. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And even crazier was I'm sitting in just outside of Amsterdam in a coffee shop, not like an actual coffee shop, not an Amsterdam coffee shop. Wasn't eating brownies or anything. Having coffee, talking with these couple European guys, and I don't know exactly what the conversation was about, but I know faith came up, and I talked to them about it. I would go back to my room where I was staying at. I'm about to fall asleep, just like how I got this start, and I jumped out of bed, and I was like, holy cow, I'm doing it. I'm starting to travel the world, and I just talked about my faith. It just hit me. I was like, wow, that is crazy. Coming into this thing, I got lost and thinking that, competing, it is for me. I'm doing this, but, God gives me the ability, and I give him the glory.